thing that we gotta do is remove the sensor right here. For that, you have to do is lift this little clip right here with a flathead. That's easy to do. Then press it and pull it out. That's easy to accomplish with that. Next step, you grab a flathead and undo this brace right here. So the brace attaches the pipe that goes down to the engine and the airbox, and you separate it. Once you have separated, you have the option. You could take the whole airbox like this, just pull it out, and it should come out. If not, you could take out the top part and then remove the bottom part from the grommets. I'm gonna take out the top part right here. All you gotta do is remove this 4 braces. You remove the 4 braces, take out the top part, take out the filter, put it to the side. Once you put it to the side, all you gotta do is just pull straight up, and the whole airbox comes off just like this. Now we have the airbox itself removed. All we gotta do is to remove down here it was a 7mm. Standing right here was the easiest position for us to get it done, to gain some access there. But we were able to loosen it up, and now we're gonna try to pull it out. It's loose enough, should be able to just wiggle it out and just take out the whole pipe. Okay, this is right here is a silencer for the intake. So this right here this is the stock airbox. It has the sensor right here that we need to remove and swap out to the new intake that doesn't come with one. So we're gonna reuse the stock one. This right here are T20s, Torx 20s. Gotta remove them, be careful, and then we're gonna use it over here. So I'm just gonna go ahead and use some T20s to remove the sensor from the stock airbox. Be careful removing it, try not to touch it as much as possible. So this one, we're gonna put it into the MST intake pipe. You can see here, there's only one way to put it. If we tried to put it the wrong way, the holes were not aligned. So for example, if I put it backwards, upside down, the holes just don't align. So you know that you're doing it wrong. You just flip it over, and that's the only way that the sensor could go in and the holes align. For this, you cannot reuse the stock screws. You need to use the ones that are provided with the pipe. Each pipe has their own threading and everything like that. So here we're gonna find them and make sure that we use those with a wrench. Just high tighten it first, make sure that they sit properly. Once you hand tighten, you could use a screwdriver adapter if you want, if you have one. If not, you can use it with a wrench. Just be really careful because the plastic is very brittle and it could crack. You know how it's gonna be assembled and installed into the car. So the charge pipe goes right here. Down here, we use 2 braces. One for the top part of the pipe itself, one that will attach to the intake part that goes into the engine. So we need all 3 braces right here. Make sure you pre-stage them where you could gain some access to do it yourself. All right. For the bottom part, we are gonna make sure that they are facing out so we can gain access the same way that the stock one was. Yeah. Okay. So instead of trying to attach the rubber joint to this part here first before installing it, it's much easier in the process to install the rubber joint to the engine part first, and then once you do the shield, put this part in, then you attach it to the rubber joint. The first thing you gotta put on before you go back and put the actual piping in is you gotta put this heat shield, which goes right here against the car. And depending on which pipe you're using, you might be able to do it without having to remove the grommets, anything like that. With this one specifically, it has a hole right here for the bottom grommet. We have to remove the grommet and use the grommet itself to hold this part in place. So the wrench that I'm using is a 5/8 to loosen the bottom grommet right here. Not sure if that's the right size, but that's the size that it's working for me right now. So I'm just loosen it up. So this was the shield, using that as a guide, and it will actually hold it in place. I'm gonna put it back on. So to tighten it properly, I'm using a 5/8 socket with a long extension, so you can have the room to tighten it. So now we put in the pipe, attach it to the joint right here, and make sure you position the bracket to where you have easy access to tighten it with a flathead. But don't tighten it completely yet, because you need to be able to move it and have some wiggle room to attach the pipe itself. The next and almost final step is the actual filter itself. You gotta make sure you go over the whole lip on the pipe, and you capture a good seal around it, and then start tightening it. Okay, all right, that should be a good seal right there. Now that we know everything's in place, we're gonna go ahead and finally finish tightening this bracket right here. Okay, once you have that set up and everything is nice and sturdy and firm, make sure you put your sensor back on, clip it back in there. Okay, so our final step is gonna be measuring this. What I like to do is I grab one hole first. So I'm gonna take this one in the corner and just kind of like guide it through it a little bit first. Do the same thing for the other three, one at a time. Make sure it's lined up, put it on, leave it some loose. That I'm doing would be secure it to the brace right here in the back. That's a little brace right here. I think it's a little bent. So first, and then I'm gonna use 2 10s, one for the bottom, one for the top, so you can secure it properly. All right, and that's it, guys. We have a brand new MST pipe installed.